Welcome to our channel, Weekend Channel. Today we will talk about economy of class 10th, and this is the second part. We have finished what development promises different people and different goals. Today we will talk about three other headings. We will start from income and other goals. Now, when you notice about income and other goal, there are three common things. The three common things which are very noticeable, or we can witness it very well, very clear, that is crystal clear, is first of all regular work. Then second, we can treat as better wages, and third, decent prices for crops. Now these three address to the different part of a different type of people, but the common thing is that income is involved. So income is a very important facet. Now these three factors, they combine to form an enhanced source of income to the different people or different targeted sections. Means if one farmer gets decent prices for crops, his income will increase. If a labor gets regular labor, if he is not in an organized sector, and he gets more days of labor, then his income will increase in an assured manner. And if one labor or any person who is employed, his wages if increased, his income will increase. Similarly, people seek first of all not only money, they also seek equal treatment. Equal treatment is one of the very important feature. Now the second thing is freedom. Freedom is very important. How to work? There should not be any discrimination. No discrimination should prevail among the society. Another facet is security. If any labor is working in an unorganized sector, he is not secure, because if in any case this industry fails, he is the most vulnerable section. He will be the first person who will be fired out from the job, as we have witnessed in the corona pandemic. And all these four criterions, if you look, these are with respect to some other persons. Equal treatment means somebody is getting better treatment, so you involve treatment that is equal to that person. Means all the four parameters are with respect to another people or another person concerned. So these four criterions are with respect to someone else's. Now most of the times these things are more important than material things. Material things means money. Money is just a factor on which our life depends. It's not saying that money is not an important factor. Shakespeare said that money is not everything but 9/10 of everything. If we don't have money, we don't earn respect in society. That is one important thing. But that is also very important that you have social recognition. So some other factors are also that important as money is. Now quality of life is very important, and the quality of life is dependent on these factors: equal treatment, freedom, security, and no discrimination on basis of class, caste, or anything. So these factors were very important. Now if you are offered a job after doing engineering in which you are getting a good salary, say 50,000 in Bangalore or in Chennai, and if you are offered a job of the same kind which pays you 30,000 rupees, but it is in your hometown, like if you are living in Lucknow, it's in Lucknow. So you will consider many things before joining the job which is offered to you in the faraway place, and it is giving 50,000 means 20,000 more. First of all, facilities for family. That is for sure that facilities for family will reduce, because now you will have to make arrangements in two places, in Bangalore plus Lucknow. The working atmosphere, maybe you are accustomed to the working atmosphere in your place, that is Lucknow, and Bangalore is an alien place to you, so you will prefer Lucknow in that. Now opportunity for growth is a very, very important factor. If you see that even if you are getting 30,000, which is about equal to 50,000, and there is no growth provision, or it is very less chances of growth in that sector, you will not go for it. Or if in a similar city, if in Bangalore also, there is two job opportunities for you. One is giving 20,000, one is giving 50,000. But the thing is that the 20,000 job, the company which is offering you 20,000, is for sure that if you perform well, you will get better wages, and you are assured of a better future. Then you will go for the 20,000 job, not for the 50,000 job. So growth is a very important factor. Now another thing is security. Social security is very important. Social security comes with the type of recognition which is given to you. Like in your place, you are considered as a member of your own society. You have lived in Lucknow since your birth. So here the social security is more. When you go to Bangalore, that is an alien place to you. So the social security is, the net of social security is less in comparison to that in Lucknow. Now the time for family is also a very important factor. Like if you get a job paying in 50,000, but if you have to go to 9 to 7 or 9 to 8, means it takes 11 hours. And if you are getting a job which pays you only 30,000 and you are going to work till 10 to 5, so only 7 hours. So you will consider that thing also. You will get more hours to enjoy with your family. So sense of job security and freedom are equally important. The 30,000 in Lucknow will be considered better than 50,000 in Bangalore if the growth opportunity and sense of social security and job security are equal. So you will choose Lucknow in most probability. As we have seen that for development, people look at a mix of goals. Mix of goals means various parameters. Like first of all, we should take an example of women. A working woman is considered to be more important than a household woman. That dignity is more important because not she only contributes in the household work but also augments the income of the whole family. So she performs the double task. Now the second thing is there is greater respect and acceptance in society for a working woman if she shares household works too. If she is a breadwinner plus she also does or contributes the household work, then she will earn more respect in the society because she is involved in two works, the household works plus the money earning. So two things are there. So there is greater respect and acceptance in society. If she is doing only the office job, the respect is somewhat less. Society will not see it as a good thing. Now the third or more thing is there should be a safe and secure environment that may allow more women to take up a variety of job or run a business. Safe and secure environment is a must. So this will contribute in development. So we can see that the development goals, that it is not only about better income, but it is about other various important things of life also. Now we come to national development. What is national development? For it, we as a citizens should think the different notions of development. Every individual or every citizen of a country has his different notions of development. Suppose a question is asked like, what should be a strategy that India should adopt so that it will develop at a faster pace? You will see that different people will give n number of opinions. N number of opinions, different opinions. They will have their own vision. They will have their own opinions. They will have own ideas. And what strategy should India adopt for development? If you ask in your class also, students will differ in their answers. So it is very, very important to keep in mind that different persons could have different as well as conflicting views of development. Now, the questions arise: is all the idea equally important? Can all the ideas of development be considered equally important? Now, what is fair and just? The second cheese is, what is fair and just? Like something, what is fair to some may be unjust to some, or what is just to some may be unfair to some. Like if government is giving a reservation to the backward classes or to the SCs or to the STs, the general category students may say that they are being sidelined or they are being given less opportunities. So what is just for the candidates of the reserved categories may be considered as unjust for the general category students, despite of the fact that government is giving them reservation for their on the ground that they have been discriminated before. So to facilitate them, the government is giving, but it may be considered or viewed differently by the other sections of the society or the general sections of the society. So fair and just, these two are different type of views. Now, how to resolve conflict? This is also a very, very difficult thing. In this, the approach will be, things will be solved in that manner that it should benefit the larger number of people. It should address more people. If suppose any controversial topic arises, then some people are called and a type of meeting is organized, and with their consent a type of decision is being taken which involves the benefit of generally the larger sections of the people. If it involves the development of only small section of people, it is generally not taken, not decided. Now, how should different things be compared? Like, take in a class, if there are different students, some are different on the basis of height, some are different on the basis of health, some on intelligence, some on talent, some on interest. So how to compare the students in a class? Like everybody of you are studying in class 10, so someone may be more, someone's height is more, someone's health is good than others, someone is more intelligent, someone is more talented, someone is more has got interest in many fields. So how to compare these students? So the basis is there are taken more than one or two parameters, and the more parameters on which a student is doing well, or the all-round progress of the children will be taken as the criteria to report that he is a different student or a better student. Now that is true of development too. Now, how to compare different countries or a state? For countries, income is considered to be most important, and when two countries are being compared, this is based on the understanding that more income means more of all things human beings need. If you have got more income, then you can buy as many things as possible. You can go to restaurants, you can go to hotel, you can buy cars, you can buy clothes, as many things as you want. If you have got money, surplus money, you can maintain a good quality of life. So all these things depend on money. Now what happens? Income is considered to be the only goal when it comes to country wise, isn't it? But here I will differ from this idea or this opinion, because the total income of a country, it means that it is total income of its total residents. Means if a country's income is about say $30,000 and if a total number of people residing is 300, then if you divide 30,000 by 300, it comes 100. So $100 will be the income of per people. But if only if say only 30 people live, and then 30,000, then you will get that the amount of money is more. So the total income does not give us a clear idea. Now then what? So for comparison between countries, total income is not such an important measure. Different countries have different population comparing total income, which will not portray the clear picture. Hence we compare average income. Now what is average income? The average income is the total income of the country divided by its total population. This average income is also called per capita income. In the various development reports which are conducted by World Bank and other agencies, this criteria is used in classifying the various countries. In 2013, countries with per capita income of US dollar 12,736 were considered rich countries, and those countries whose per capita income was less than US dollar 1,045 were considered low income countries. What was the position of India? India came in the category of low middle income countries because its per capita income in 2013 was just US dollar 1,570. Now the countries of Middle East and other small countries, they are not considered developed countries in spite of having high income, because the income is so widely distributed, because somebody has got so much money and some sections of society have got very little money. So there is so much disparity that they don't fulfill the parameters of being a developed country. Now in this table, two countries are shown. One country is A, one country is B, and their income is shown for some months, 5 months in 2012. So in first month for the country A, the average income of citizens is 9,500, second month 10,500, third month 9,800, fourth 10,000, fifth 10,000 and 1,200. That is the monthly income of citizens. And now in country B, it's like 500, 500, 500 and 500, but suddenly in the fifth month it's 48,000. So is the country B livable? It's not so. Now why? Because in the citizens in the country B, most of the citizens are extremely poor and some sections are extremely rich. Like here you see that one person among the 5 is too rich in comparison to the other persons, and the country A is more preferable because it has more equitable distribution. So here another parameter, equity, comes, which is very important.